Hey, what's up? My name is Darius, and this recap is about my longest running comic series, Ninjas. This series is a whole whopping 8 seasons with 10 episodes each. So yeah, we don't have much time to spare, so let's get right into it. Ninjas Season 1, The Beginning Story. Episode 1, Rise of the Ninja Warriors. A couple of years ago, there was a teacher named Master Yang, who had a student named Nathan. There was a prophecy of a golden ninja who would protect the world, and Yang believed Nathan would become it. But he got a glimpse into the future, and was proven wrong. When Nathan heard the news, he got angry. He transformed into a dark version of himself, called Lord Nathan. Lord Nathan swore to his master he would find the 5 golden weapons and be even stronger than the golden ninja, and he left. After that, Master Yang knew something bad will happen in the future, so he sought out a ninja team to protect his land and defeat Lord Nathan. And one of them would hopefully become the prophesized golden ninja. We go to the present and meet a boy named Darius. Don't ask why he has my name and looks like me, okay? That's not me. He's a funny, timid, but also passionate boy. He comes home and sees his hometown getting attacked by Lord Nathan. Thankfully, Master Yang stopped him and asked Darius to come to his dojo. There, Darius sees 4 other kids. Ferris, Darius' cousin, a loud hothead. Isaiah, a sarcastic and confident boy. Neil, a sweet and kind dude who loves animals. And Stephanie, a girl who is responsible and pretty smart. Master Yang tells a ninja about Lord Nathan, and all of a sudden, someone shows up at the door. The last member of their team, if you can call him that. Mark, a clumsy klutz who is always late to things. Master Yang tells them to defeat Lord Nathan, they must train to be ninja, and also learn their elemental powers. Each ninja has a power inside themselves. Darius has lightning, Neil has nature, Isaiah has speed, Stephanie has ice, Ferris has fire, and Mark apparently doesn't really have one. For many weeks they trained, and eventually they all learned their elemental powers. During their training, Mark finds a map in Yang's storage to a weapon called the Devourer, and he foolishly decides to steal it, thinking it could give him a power of his own. Later that day, they hear that Lord Nathan is attacking the central city of their country, Nitropolis. So with some new vehicles Stephanie made, they ride off to battle. Episode 2, The Devourer. The ninja arrive to the fight and battle Lord Nathan, but during the fight, Mark accidentally drops the map he stole, and Lord Nathan picks it up. He thanks Mark for giving him the map, and he leaves. The ninja go back to the dojo, and Yang explains that the Devourer is a dangerous weapon that can devour an entire town in darkness. The ninja make a plan to chase after Lord Nathan and stop him, but Yang says it won't be so easy. They will go through about 5 obstacles before getting to the weapon, the Temple of the Golden Weapons. They will be able to get the golden weapons, each stowed with their elemental power. And lastly, Yang says to get each golden weapon, they must find their true potential of their powers. Before they go, they get to meet 2 elemental masters that will protect the town while they're gone. Joshua, the Master of Mind, and Emerus, the Master of Water. Episode 3, The Thunder Mountain. They arrive to the first obstacle, and Mark feels guilty for giving Lord Nathan the map. They arrive at a huge mountain that constantly brings storms. They head up to the top and see the first golden weapon, the Thunder Sword, at the very top. But as Darius goes for the sword, he gets struck by lightning, but that's when Darius unlocks his true potential and survives the lightning. They grab the Thunder Sword and continue on their adventure. Episode 4, The Freezing Forest. They arrive at a freezing forest and come across the snow shurikens. But the shurikens are being guarded by ugly ice creatures. They fight the monsters but fail, and as they are about to be eaten, Stephanie unlocks her true potential and kills the monsters. Stephanie gets the ice shurikens and they head off. You probably realize there's a trend going on here, and it goes on for 3 more episodes, so I'll go through it quick. Episode 5, The Enchanted Forest. They get to a forest with living roots. They try to get the nature scythe, but then something bad happens, and then Neil unlocks his true potential and then gets the weapon. Episode 6, The Deadly Obstacle Course. They get to an obstacle course that is very deadly and holds the speed size. Isaiah gets his true potential and gets the size. Episode 7, The Great Volcano. They get to the Great Volcano and almost die. Ferris gets his true potential and get the last golden weapon, the Flame Axe. Now with all the weapons, their last stop is the island of the Devourer. Episode 8, The Battle for the Devourer. Lord Nathan arrives to the island and obtains the Devourer. All of a sudden, the ninjas show up and battle Lord Nathan. With the Devourer, Lord Nathan defeats the ninja and almost kills Master Yang. Lord Nathan creates a dragon and heads off to Nintropolis. Episode 9, The Golden Ninja. The ninja think they have lost, but Master Yang realizes they can still win, because he forgot, with all 5 golden weapons, you can reveal who the Golden Ninja is. They put the weapons in a circle on the floor, and each ninja goes in it to see if they are the Golden Ninja. It's not Darius, not Stephanie, not Isaiah, not Ferris, and not Neil. Mark is the last one. Mark goes inside the circle and nothing happens. Just kidding. The weapons light up, revealing that Mark is the prophesized Golden Ninja. Mark wonders why he didn't get any new powers, and Yang informs him he can only get his elemental power when he unlocks his true potential. Now with the identity of the Golden Ninja revealed, the ninja head off to defeat Lord Nathan and save Nintropolis. Episode 10, Battle of the Golden Ninja. The ninja arrive to Nintropolis and see it consumed in darkness. They see Lord Nathan at the top of the central tower, so they climb it. As they climb, Lord Nathan spots them and shoots energy balls at them. The ball hits Stephanie and Neil, and they fall down the tower. Then, Lord Nathan makes Isaiah, Master Yang, and Ferris fall down the tower. And lastly, he makes Darius fall, leaving Mark all alone. But he makes it to the top. Lord Nathan calls out Mark for causing all this destruction, but Mark declares he will fix his mistakes by defeating him. Lord Nathan spawns his dragon and blasts Mark with black fire. Everyone thinks Mark is gone, but all of a sudden, bright light spews out from the darkness. Mark rises, consumed in light, and he declares he is the Golden Ninja. Mark and Lord Nathan fight, and with his elemental power of light, Mark defeats Lord Nathan and frees Nintropolis from darkness. The ninja congratulate Mark for saving the city, and Master Yang declares Mark will lead the ninja team. Even if the ninja have won, they have a long way to go until they are true ninjas. Ninjas, Season 2, Return of Lord Nathan. Wow, that title just totally spoils the whole season, huh? Pretend you didn't hear that. Episode 11, Rise of the Dark Warriors. It's been about 6 months since the battle of Light and Dark, and Mark is training with Master Yang. Yang tells him that his power is connected to the elements of the other ninja, and with that, he can create a beam using all 5 of their elements at once, called the Elemental Beam. But Mark is still learning how to do it. All of a sudden, the ninja are called to Nintropolis and see these warriors marching down the street. The ninja fight them, but all of a sudden, someone familiar shows up. Lord Nathan. Nathan takes out a mysterious orb, and it takes the ninja's golden weapons and absorbs them into it, creating a new weapon Nathan calls the Ultra Weapon. However, he doesn't use the weapon on them. He says he's going to unleash a Lord onto the world. He leaves with his Dark Warriors, and the ninja head back to the dojo to tell Master Yang. Episode 12, The Mal-Lord. They get to the dojo and find it burned down. Master Yang is thankfully alive, and he tells them the Dark Warriors attacked the dojo. The ninja tell Yang about what happened, and he says he may have an idea of what Lord Nathan is doing, but to fully figure it out, he takes him to a library called the Legend Library. There he finds a book called The History of the Mal-Lord. A very, very long time ago, The very first golden ninja reigned on Earth. A demon was born from the underworld named the Mallord and fought the first golden ninja. The battle went on for days, and during the fight, the Mallord created an army called the Darkstone Warriors. But they were not enough to defeat the first golden ninja. But the first golden ninja could not fully kill the Mallord, so he trapped his spirit in a tomb that only his power could open. But before the Mallord was defeated, he made a curse that will, in time, infect someone in darkness, and that someone will bring him back. And that someone was Lord Nathan. Master Yang tells a ninja they must find 5 gems. They are the only things that can defeat the Mallord and stop Lord Nathan from bringing him back. Now, the next 5 episodes are basically filler, and it's just them fighting the crystals, and nothing else is really important. Episode 18, The Thunder Gem. Now with 4 of the 5 gems, they head off to the place of the last gem. Conveniently, the same island where the Mallord was stored away. They get to the cave called the Darkstone Cave, filled with the material that the Mallord used to create the warriors, Darkstone. Darkstone can corrupt someone into evil by a touch of a finger. The last gem is being guarded by Darkstone warriors, and the ninja fight them. But the Darkstone warriors knock all of them except Mark into the Darkstone, and it turns them all evil. Now surrounded by the warriors and his corrupted friends, Mark uses a huge light burst, and it kills the Darkstone warriors and frees the others from corruption. But all that power drained him, and Darius decides to take care of him, while the others go to the tomb of the Mallord to stop Lord Nathan. Episode 19, Return of the Mallord. They get to the tomb of the Mallord, but they're too late. Lord Nathan uses the Ultra Weapon to unleash the Mallord, and in result, the Ultra Weapon is shot into space. The Mallord has returned, and he betrays Lord Nathan and sends him flying. The ninja fight the Mallord, but the Mallord beats them and goes after Mark. The Mallord says to Mark, "I don't want to kill you, I want to possess you." He possesses Mark, and he begins to transform into a horrifying purple monster with tentacles. The Mallord heads off to Nintropolis to destroy it. Episode 20, Battle of the Mallord. The ninja head off to Nintropolis and find the possessed Mark destroying the city. They use their gems to fight the Mallord, but it doesn't work, and the Mallord eats the ninja. All hope is lost, but then Mark is able to break the control of the Mallord and learns his elemental beam and defeats the Mallord. The ninja are saved from its stomach, and all of a sudden, they see someone walking up to them. It's Lord Nathan, but with the Mallord being defeated, the darkness from Nathan's heart is gone. Nathan is now on the side of good. Master Yang decides to take Nathan back as his student. But that's not all. Emerson and Joshua reveal to the ninja a new high-tech base for them to train, and it becomes their new home. Ninjas, Season 3, High in the Sky. Episode 21, Airborne. The ninja are training in their new HQ, and the ninja are still weirded out from Nathan living with them. Later that night, a robbery is occurring, so the ninja go off to stop it. On their way there, they see a survey for the most popular ninja, and Stephanie finds out she is the least popular ninja. She sees comments saying that she just feels like an extra member, a girl in a boys' club, which really bothers her. Meanwhile with Yang, he finds an injured man nearby that looked like he just fell from a high height. The man tells Yang that Arya has escaped, and if she takes over Sky Kingdom, your land will be. He dies shortly after. Yang heads off to the Legend Library and learns about Sky Kingdom, and learns about who Arya is. Yes, I know, this library is very convenient. Yang calls the ninja to HQ, and tells them they must head to Sky Kingdom to stop Commander Arya. Sky Kingdom is a secret kingdom in the clouds that people cannot access easily. A long time ago, a woman named Arya tried to conquer Sky Kingdom with her army of Sky Gladiators, so a war began, but she lost, and was locked up for life. But now, she has escaped, and apparently, if she takes over Sky Kingdom, the Underland will be next. The ninja wonder how they can even get to Sky Kingdom, and Yang learned that there is a place called the Floating Caverns that can float them into Sky Kingdom. So Yang, the ninja, and Nathan arrive there, and fly up to Sky Kingdom to stop Commander Arya. Episode 22, Sky Kingdom. They all arrive to Sky Kingdom and get surrounded by the kingdom's guards. They explain why they are there, and the king of the kingdom, King Koku, decides to let them in. King Koku surprisingly allows the ninja to stay in his castle, but he also says to Nathan that he looks familiar. Later, Yang finds a training room and decides to take the opportunity to tell Nathan that he thinks it is time for him to learn his elemental power. Yang declares Nathan will train to become the Master of Shadow. Meanwhile, with Stephanie, she runs into a white-haired boy in the library named Raiden, who she begins to fall for. Raiden is a kind but also very shy dude. Master Yang is not done with his surprises though, and he tells the ninja to meet him at the edge of Sky Kingdom. Episode 23, Wingjitzu Masters. We see Arya in an old-looking fortress far away from Sky Kingdom. As she talks to her top soldiers, she tells them her plan. She pulls out a staff she got from, I don't really remember, and says she needs to find the shards for the staff called the War Weapon. And once she finds all of them, she'll be able to take over Sky Kingdom. Back on Sky Kingdom, Master Yang tells the ninja they will need to learn a technique to help defeat Arya. This technique is called Wingjitzu, an ancient art form that can make someone gain wings and fly. And for them to learn this art form, they must jump off the clouds. They're obviously hesitant of this, but Yang just tells them they must become air. They decide to do it, and they all learn it, except for Stephanie. She can't stop thinking about the survey, and she loses focus and almost dies. Someone saves her though, and she is now the only one who doesn't know Wingjitzu. All of a sudden, Arya shows up to Sky Kingdom. She infiltrates the castle and kidnaps Koku. As Koku is being taken, Raiden, who is actually a Sky Guard in training, tries to save Koku, but he gets scared and misses, letting Arya get away. Episode 24, Tale of Arya. We see Koku locked up, and Arya demands Koku to tell her where the shards of the war weapon are. Koku decides to tell her after his kingdom is threatened, but Koku says to Arya that the ninja, Yang, and Nathan will stop her. And Arya is shocked after hearing the name Nathan. The next day in the castle, Steph and Raiden get to talk more, and their bond begins to grow. All of a sudden, a sky spy shows up and tells them that he got information that Arya is heading to the freezing forest with Koku. They learn about the war weapon and about the shards, so the ninja head out to stop her. Arya finds the first shard, but the ninja show up and fight for the shard. During the fight, Arya insults Stephanie and makes her feel even more insecure. All the ninja lose, and Nathan comes to fight Arya. Arya makes Nathan stop and asks Nathan why he is fighting her. And that's when she reveals that she is Nathan's mother. Nathan doesn't believe this, but she says she's shocked Koku hasn't told them. Master Yang is able to free King Koku and get the ninja to retreat, knowing they cannot beat her. Episode 25, Password Leonidas. Now Arya has the first shard of the war weapon, and she heads back to her base. Back at Sky Kingdom, Nathan has a talk with King Koku, and that's when Koku tells Nathan the story of Arya. Koku says that Arya is his daughter, and was going to be the next queen of Sky Kingdom. Arya met Nathan's father, and eventually they had Nathan. 3 years later, for some reason, Arya began to change. She began to have the idea that the kingdom should invade and conquer the Underland for its resources. Koku was against the idea, but since Arya believed in that idea so much, Koku had to get rid of her princess title. Enraged, Arya left her family, found the war weapon and her Sky Gladiators, and begun a war with Sky Kingdom. Koku explains what the war weapon is. The war weapon is an ancient weapon that can absorb someone into its crystal. It was made by a man named Leonidas. After Arya lost the war, the crystal was shattered into 2 pieces and was scattered. Koku lastly tells them the second shard is hidden in the temple of the war weapon. The ninja know now that is where Arya is heading, so Koku says he will take them there. Before they go, Stephanie and Yang talk, and Yang is able to help Stephanie get over her problems. They get to the entrance of the Temple of the War Weapon and realize there is a gate in front of it locked by a password. Koku opens the gate and they head into the temple, but they didn't realize the gate didn't close. Episode 26, Temple of the War Weapon. The ninja arrive to the temple, but then Isaiah accidentally hits a trap, and rocks begin to fall. The rocks end up splitting the ninja up, so they go off to find the last shard. Neil is all alone, and he finds a lonely red egg in the temple. Neil decides to take the egg, since it will die all alone. The ninja meet up, and all of a sudden, the egg hatches, revealing a small red dragon with humongous wings. The dragon, who is a girl by the way, begins to grow an attachment to Neil, so Neil decides to take care of her until they find her mother. Neil decides to name the dragon Astrid. The ninja find the last shard, but all of a sudden, Arya shows up and fights them for it. She ends up winning and completes the war weapon. She absorbs Isaiah and Darius into the weapon, and the others retreat before Arya is able to get anyone else. Episode 27, One by Another. The ninja, now with 2 members gone, are back at Sky Kingdom. Nathan finally unlocks his elemental power. Later, Stephanie decides to ask Raiden out on a date, and he says yes. Later that night, Mark feels like waiting is a bad idea, and he wants to go find Arya now, but the others are against it. So Mark decides to head off by himself to fight Arya alone. During Stephanie and Raiden's date, Raiden decides to dye his hair brown. The date is interrupted though when they find out Mark left, so they go after him. Mark is able to find Arya's base, and he fights her. He is unsuccessful though, and he gets sucked into the war weapon, and the others watch. Episode 28, The Attack. Today is the day where Arya plans to attack Sky Kingdom, and everyone is getting prepared. As Stephanie is with Astrid in the castle's library, she finds out Arya has arrived to Sky Kingdom. The entire army of Sky Kingdom and the ninja fight off Arya and her forces, but during the battle, Arya begins to trap everyone in the war weapon until almost no one is left. Stephanie tries to battle Arya, but fails almost instantly. Arya decides it's not worth absorbing Steph, so she decides to shove Stephanie off the kingdom, and she falls to her doom. Episode 29, Mission Sneak Up. Stephanie begins to open her eyes to see Astrid and Raiden. Raiden tells Stephanie Astrid was able to catch Stephanie before she hit the ground, and she brought him down as well. Now with no ninja, Stephanie gets the idea to create a new team to try and defeat Arya. Now that Arya has taken over Sky Kingdom, she and her army are preparing to take over the Underland next. Stephanie recruits Emerus and Joshua and now have a new team. Stephanie is able to make a plan called Mission Sneak Up, and she says they will sneak up into Sky Kingdom and get into the castle and destroy the war weapon. They head into Sky Kingdom, but everything doesn't go to plan, and they get caught. They are able to fight off Arya's Sky Gladiators, and they head off into the castle to battle Arya once and for all. Episode 30, Sky Showdown. They all enter the castle and battle Arya. Arya is able to defeat them, however, and sucks everyone into the war weapon, except for Stephanie. Arya begins to absorb Stephanie into a weapon, but before she does, Stephanie throws a sharp pillar of ice into the war weapon's crystal, and it shatters. The weapon releases everyone from its prison, but Arya is still a threat without her weapon. Stephanie does something crazy and kicks Arya off Sky Kingdom and jumps off herself. That is when Stephanie is able to come to terms with who she is. She learns Wingjitzu and ends Arya in a very dark way. Like, oh my god, you didn't need to do that to her. Something bad begins to happen. Stephanie begins to lose control of her Wingjitzu, and she ends up falling into the ground. Stephanie wakes up in a hospital with her father next to her. As the ninja are waiting for her outside the room, she walks out and shows them she is now half robot. She was saved by her genius father, since the fall would have killed her. But thankfully, even though she is half robot, she is still the same Steph. The ninja tells Steph, after Arya's defeat, the Sky Gladiators were all arrested, and Raiden has now become a guard of Sky Kingdom. Raiden decides to stay on the Underland for a little while. Sode talks to Raiden, and Raiden says even though she is now half robot, he still likes her. They kiss, and the ninja head off to the dojo to meet up with Yang. But when they get there, they find out Yang is gone. They look around Entropolis to find him, but instead, they find a portal that pops up right in front of them, and it begins to suck all of them in. They all get sucked in, and all get transported to an unknown world. Ninjas, Season 4, Survival. Episode 31, Welcome to Survival. The mysterious portal the ninja ended up in sends him to a forest with an orange trail. All of a sudden, a voice comes out from a speaker, repeatedly saying to follow the trail. So ninja comply and end up at a huge, royal-looking palace. A man walks out from the palace and welcomes them in. The man introduces himself as Regork. Yeah, it's a weird name. The ninja walk in and see a circle of people, including Emerus and Joshua. Regork says that he has brought all the elemental masters here for a special occasion. Before he shows up, Regork introduces the elemental masters. There's a lot of them, so I'm going to try and go through them real quick. There's Alan, Master of Invisibility, Aiden, Master of Smoke, Santo, Master of Earth, Jacob, Master of Healing, Emily, Master of Sound, Jordan, Master of Energy, Benjamin, Master of Time, Logan, Master of Form, Jason, Master of Cosmic, Jalen, Master of Wind, Ibuka, Master of Metal, Andre, Master of Gravity, and surprisingly, Ferris's younger sister, Kina, Master of Absorption. You're definitely not going to remember all those names, but that's okay, because you don't really need to. All of a sudden, the ruler of the palace shows up and introduces himself as Leonidas. The ninja remember that's the name of the man who created the war weapon. Leonidas tells everyone they are here to participate in the Elemental Survival Tournament to see who is the strongest Elemental Master. Mark argues with Leonidas, saying that they will not participate in his games, but Leonidas knew they wouldn't comply so easily, so he had a trick up his sleeve. He reveals to the ninja that he has Master Yang in captivity, and he will not let him go unless they participate. So the ninja have no choice but to compete. Leonidas also explains that this weapon is how they are transported to his world. Eris, Leonidas' servant, gets everyone to their assigned rooms. Darius spots Eris for the first time and begins to grow feelings for her. As everyone gets used to their rooms, Regork announces that the first survival tournament is about to begin. Episode 32, Deathrun. The first game begins, and it is called Deathrun. The Elemental Masters will be split into pairs, and will have to make it to the end of their assigned hallway while avoiding deadly traps. They start the game, and we get to see the Elemental Masters' powers in action. By the end of the game, almost everyone makes it out, except for Aiden and Ibuka, who get crushed by a rock. Later, Darius sees Eris and decides to talk with her. Episode 33, Shocking Romance. Darius and Eris talk, and Darius says to Eris that he talked to her because she seemed like she was depressed. That really cheered up Eris because no one has been that nice to her in a very long time. Darius takes the opportunity to ask Eris where they are and why Leonidas is doing this. When Eris was young, she lived in a normal town, but one day, Leonidas showed up. He killed Eris' parents and destroyed the town. He forced the civilians to work under him as lion guards, and forced her to become his servant. Eris does not know what Leonidas' plan is, and how the ninja can get back home. Later, Darius sees Eris secretly building a little robot in her room, showing her skills in machinery. All of a sudden, an announcement comes on, revealing the next game is about to start. Episode 34, Elemental Drive. The next game starts and ends without anyone dying. Later, Eris gets told by Regork that she has to make vehicles for every Elemental Master. She can't possibly make that many vehicles in that amount of time, but Regork does not care. Darius and Stephanie sees what's happening and offer to help Eris with the vehicles. The vehicles are made, and the next game begins, and it is a race with deadly obstacles. The game ends, and no one dies again, which angers Leonidas. That's when Regork walks up to him and tells him that he has an idea for a game that all of them couldn't possibly survive. Episode 35. The Next Level. It's been 2 days since the last survival game, and everyone wonders what Leonidas has been doing. All of a sudden, Neil calls over Darius and tells him he found a prisoner list, and they find out which cell Yang is in. Neil tells Darius him, Logan, and Alan will try and free Yang. Neil tells Darius not to tell the others, because the more people know, the more likely Leonidas will find out what they're trying to do. So they head out and steal the cell key. Before they can break out Yang, however, they are called to the next game. They head outside and see a huge hedge maze. The game is that they must get through the maze and survive the traps, but they cannot go through the maze with their powers. They begin, and later they find out there was something huge that Leonidas didn't tell them about this game. That a huge mechanical lion will be hunting them through the maze. The lion finds Jason and Santo and crushes them. Now knowing how big a threat this lion is, the Untitled Masters rush through the maze. The ninja are at the end of the maze, but so is the lion. Stephanie and Mark are trying to get past the final trap, but the lion is right behind them, so Stephanie decides to make a sacrifice and throws Mark to the finish, resulting in her getting eaten. Now with one of the members gone, Darius tells the others that they got the key for Yang's cell, so they are going to break him out. Episode 36. Chase of a Master. The ninja are planning how they are going to break out Yang. All of a sudden, Nathan shows up and says he will help fight off the guards blocking the prison. But as they're planning, Ragork is outside and he hears everything. Ragork goes to tell Leonidas, but he just ignores him and tells Ragork to get everyone together because the next game is about to begin. Ragork enraged just decides to go and stop them on his own. The ninja arrive to the prison and defeat the guards. More guards show up, however, so Ferris, Isaiah, and Nathan decide to fight them off while the others go inside. As they're fighting the guards, Ragork shows up and defeats all 3 of them and heads after the other ninja. Mark finds Yang, but then they find out that he was a hologram. Leonidas knew they would try to save him. All of a sudden, Ragork shows up, but Isaiah comes in and fights off Ragork. As they fight, Isaiah asks Ragork why Leonidas is doing this tournament, and Ragork just says they are all required for Leonidas' huge plan, and when they succeed, he plans to betray Leonidas and make him pay for all the suffering he caused him. All of a sudden, a huge lion guard shows up and captures all the ninja. The ninja are sad because now they have no idea where Yang could be, but Darius has an idea of who they can get answers from. Episode 37. The Story of the Lion. The ninja capture Leonidas' top guards and make them talk. They don't know everything, but they did hear rumors that Leonidas is trying to awaken the Golden Lion. The Golden Lion was the first Golden Ninja's pet. It had the power to create new land just by roaring, but could also do the opposite. The first Golden Ninja eventually knew the Golden Lion may fall into the wrong hands, so he stored his spirit in a metal and hid it underground. But years later, Leonidas found it, and that metal is what his weapon is made of. All of a sudden, the next game is about to start, and the ninja are put inside a room. But then, all of a sudden, spikes pop out of the ceiling, and it begins to fall slowly down on them. They are told they must find the secret entrance out of this room before they are squished to death. They find the switch in the nick of time, but Jacob and Nathan weren't lucky enough to make it out in time. However, the game is not over just yet. Everyone sees a huge pit, and they are told they must make it to the bottom of the pit without getting hit by any obstacles. As they fall, Joshua, Andre, Benjamin, and Emily perish on their way down. The ninja are nearing the floor, but Darius gets hit on his head, knocking him out, and he's about to fall to his death. Mark sees Darius and decides to sacrifice himself. Mark grabs Darius and pushes him away, resulting in him getting in the trap, and he dies. Now only 4 ninja remain, and Darius decides he will lead the ninja team with Mark gone. Ferris is upset, and decides he will go to get answers from Leonidas himself. Episode 38. Ninja Loss. Ferris finds Leonidas alone and captures him. Ferris makes him talk, and Leonidas tells him he wants to get revenge on King Koku for banishing him to this dimension. Ferris figures out that him and Arya were friends, and he is the one who gave her the idea, her evil idea, to take over the Underland. Ferris asks what his weapon is, and he says it was forged from a metal of the Golden Lion mixed with a mysterious shard he found in this dimension not long ago that gave him the power to open up dimensional portals. Before Ferris can get more answers, however, the buff Lion Guard shows up again and takes Ferris to the next game. The next game begins, and they find out a huge fire blast is coming their way, and they must get to the end of the hallway before the fire gets them. They run, and Alan, Emerus, Jalen, Logan, and Jordan get incinerated. Isaiah's leg gets hit as he is running, and Neil helps him out by carrying him. But the fire blast is getting too close, and Darius and Ferris see Isaiah and Neil seemingly get incinerated. Now with 3 elemental masters left, Darius, Ferris, and Kina, the final game is about to commence. Episode 39, the final game. Now with most of the team seemingly dead, Eris confronts Darius, and they get to interact more, and their bond begins to grow. The final game begins, and it is an arena battle with Darius, Ferris, and Kina, and they must fight each other to the death. Obviously they are against this, so they have an idea, to fake the fight until Leonidas falls asleep. It doesn't work, however, and Leonidas decides to put a trap on where the floor begins to fall into lava. Eris tries to stop Leonidas, but Leonidas retaliates and throws Eris into the arena too. Kina almost falls into lava, but Ferris catches her, but the floor Ferris is holding on is still falling, so Eris catches him, and when Eris almost falls, Darius catches her. They are all about to fall into lava, so Eris decides that Darius should win this for them. So she lets go, and all 3 of them fall into lava. Darius is declared the winner, and as he is about to be shown his prize, he gets thrown into a pit, where Leonidas plans for Darius to stay for the rest of his days. Darius feels absolutely defeated, but then Master Yang shows up and breaks him out. Master Yang reveals to Darius that everyone is still alive, and if they hurry, they can save them. Darius follows Yang to a tower, where Leonidas has all the elemental masters in a cage. Leonidas uses his weapon and steals all their elemental powers. The weapon is charged, so Leonidas awakens the Golden Lion. Now with the lion, Leonidas and his forces all march into a portal. Darius and Yang come and break the elemental masters out of the cage, and Darius wonders how they all survived. They explain that the second they looked like they were about to die, a trap door popped up and transported them. All of a sudden they notice the portal Leonidas opened was still open, so they use the opportunity to head after him and save their world. Episode 40, The Roar. As a ninja are traveling through the portal, Ferris accidentally gets knocked out of the portal stream and gets sent somewhere else. They arrive back at their dimension and see the lion marching into Metropolis. Mark comes up with a plan to head to their HQ so they can get weapons. Neil and Logan go to find a way to distract the lion before it joins Leonidas in the center of the city, while the rest hold off Leonidas' forces. Mark says Darius must handle Leonidas since he's the only one with his elemental power. Leonidas arrives in the middle of the city, and all of a sudden, Raiden shows up and tries to fight him, but he's unsuccessful. Thankfully, the elemental masters show up, and they fight. Meanwhile, Neil and Logan are distracting the Golden Lion with a laser pointer? But then, they accidentally drop the laser pointer, and the lion heads back to Leonidas. As ninja are fighting, Ferris shows up out of a portal. Ferris apparently wants to tell the others something really important, but they are too busy to listen. Meanwhile, with Leonidas, Rigork tries to betray him, but it doesn't work, and Leonidas blasts Rigork into the sky, where we may never see him again. All of a sudden, Darius shows up and fights Leonidas, but he loses. The Golden Lion shows up, and it is about to roar. When all hope looks lost, injured Darius shoots one last lightning bolt straight at Leonidas' weapon, and it flies straight into the lion's throat, making it choke, and the lion explodes with the weapon. Now with their elemental powers back, the elemental masters all shoot Leonidas with all their powers, and he disintegrates. The elemental masters are victorious, and they all head off to their families. As ninja are in their HQ, Ferris tells him something. Ferris says he was sent to a strange dimension and he found something. The season ends with Ferris pulling out a bright blue diamond with a crack in the middle. And that is the end of the first part of the Ninjas recap. Thank you so much for watching this entire thing. Part 2 will consist of Season 5 to 7. Hopefully they will not take as long as this video took to make. Thank you all again for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. See you later.